Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are strapping in for a really high-stakes competitive analysis,
We are.
but we're not looking at traditional college football. Our focus is the ACC, but, well, it's inside this massive competitive online user league.
Exactly. A truly high-stakes digital gridiron.
Right. And our source material today is this phenomenal, deep analytical breakdown from the YAR Sports Network.
Yeah, they profiled the league's top coaches or users, and what we have is, it's so much more valuable than just a playbook. It's a study in applied competitive psychology.
Okay, let's unpack that then. We're looking at 8 coaches who are dominating the ACC.
Hmm.
And our mission here is to get past the X's and O's and really pull out the behavioral nuggets. How does personality, how does intensity translate into winning?
Because when the talent is this high, success isn't just about your roster. It's about competitive maturity. You have to know their signature offense, sure, but more than that.
You need to know what problem they're making you solve.
Exactly. What kind of emotional or strategic problem are they forcing on you for 60 minutes of, intense gameplay?
So this is a fantastic masterclass in how these wildly different approaches, from like mistake-free conservatism to just pure chaos,
Yeah, high-risk aggression.
how they all coexist and compete at this elite level. So let's start where the source material does, the top tier, the established champions.
Good place to start. And they offer the sharpest contrast right out of the gate.
How so?
Well, you have two very different blueprints for winning it all. Let's start with Coach Ines at LSU. The YIR profile basically defines this user as the flashy airstrike.
Right. And the data's clear. He's almost always leading the league in passing yards, touchdown passes.
He's even got the confidence to match, apparently calling himself Peyton Manning in the league chat.
And he's earned some of that, right? He's won championships. He makes deep playoff runs.
He does. Yeah. But here's where the source material gets really, really interesting. The YR Sports Network points out that while he gets to those deep playoff runs, the percentage of him actually converting them into winning it all is, well, it isn't great. It's surprisingly low.
That distinction making the run versus finishing the deal, that's critical. So he can dominate a regular season, but in those high-pressure championship moments, maybe the risk of that pass-heavy offense catches up to him?
I think so. And his personality description seems to reinforce that. He's described as highly reactive and intense. Trash talk takes things from 0 to 100 real fast.
So high risk, high reward. But in a final, one interception can cost you everything. That volatility becomes a liability.
Precisely. He plays aggressively and he reacts aggressively.
Okay, so now let's flip the entire coin. If Coach Ines is that fiery, erratic flash, then you have Coach Tyler at Texas Tech.
The conservative machine.
That's what the YR network calls him.
That's the term, yeah. Coach Tyler is the definition of sustained success. He's one of the top users in the whole league, multiple championships across different Madden leagues. He's the gold standard.
But is his style? Is it boring? The source calls him super conservative, very balanced, not flashy or reckless.
And that's where the insight is, right? Because boring is winning in this scenario. The key takeaway from the analysis is that he just makes no mistakes.
So the psychological pressure of playing him must be immense.
Think about it. Opponents know they got to earn everything. You're not playing against some exciting offense. You're playing against a user who he doesn't fumble, he doesn't take penalties, and he forces you to be the one to screw up.
It's an exhausting brand of competitive maturity. You're fighting against maximum efficiency for 60 minutes.
And that's the contrast. Coach NS tries to win in the first quarter with a big play. Coach Tyler wins in the fourth when his opponent makes a tired mistake.
Okay, so we've got the flash and the machine. Let's bring in the third champion here, Coach Rob at Penn State. He seems to bring a different kind of discipline.
Coach Rob is a fascinating study. Strategically, he's very much a pass-first user.
So a little like Coach NS in that respect.
A little, yeah. He shares that core aggressive tendency. He knows how to attack through the air, and he's got the track record to prove it. Solid playoff runs, championships in past leagues.
But the defining thing about him, the anecdote that stands out, it has nothing to do with his scheme. It's his rule book.
The forfeit rule.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It's the most severe competitive quirk in the whole breakdown. If you're late for kickoff, even by a minute,
You're done.
you might be looking at a forfeit. No questions asked.
Wow. Is that about discipline or is it a psychological weapon?
I think it's both. It shows this hyper-competitive nature and extreme demand for respect. By enforcing a rule that severe, he immediately controls the environment, the schedule. the whole engagement.
So before you even play him, you're already thinking about logging on 5 minutes early.
Exactly. It sets the mental tone before the digital ball is even kicked. It says, I take this more seriously than you do.
Okay, that covers the champions, the volatile aggressor, the mistake-free conservative, and the hyper-disciplined competitor.
Now we can pivot. Let's look at the users who present these unique, high-variance challenges, the ones who force you to adapt.
We're shifting from control to chaos. And that means we have to talk about Coach Tyreek at Florida State.
Coach Tyreek is the specialist. He forces opponents way out of their comfort zone with unique formations.
Specifically, the Wildcat.
Right. And for anyone not familiar, the Wildcat it makes the game chaotic real quick, as the YAR network puts it.
So if you're someone like Coach Tyler who wants a clean, balanced game, Tyreek is your absolute nightmare.
Total nightmare. You have to be locked in. It forces a level of preparation and defensive adjustment that most users just don't want to deal with.
And his personality matches the playstyle.
Oh, absolutely. The sources describe him as hell, and talking crazy's hell. And here's the defining trait.
Go on.
If he beats you one time, even if you've beaten him 30 times before, he will talk non-stop about that single victory.
That's fascinating. So his strategy is not just about winning the game.
No, it's about maximizing the perceived size of that win through psychological warfare. He drags you into this cycle of mental annoyance.
He weaponizes annoyance. Okay. Now, what about a different kind of talker? Coach Radula at Florida.
Yeah, the sources note that when he first joined, his talk about how he was going to run the league was a lot louder than his early results.
This is that classic image versus performance question, isn't it? He's a pass-first user. He makes the playoffs from time to time. He's capable.
He's dangerous, for sure. But that initial bravado set an expectation he hasn't consistently met. It puts a target on his back.
So his narrative is defined more by his mouth than by his trophy case.
In a way, yeah. He's still a threat, but the story's often about the talk.
And finally, in this chaos category, we have Coach Kanan at USC. His problems seem to start before the season even does.
His whole behavioral pattern is struggling with the offseason, blaming league officials, complaining he missed everything.
The competitor who externalizes failure.
It's a clear pattern the YAR network identified. But here's the paradox. Despite all that chaos and being seemingly unprepared, he's still incredibly dangerous in-game.
How so?
He's described as one of those guys who might clip you, pull off a shocking upset if you don't finish him off, if you leave him in the game.
So his inconsistency is actually a trap. You see his public prep issues, you get a lead, you let your foot off the gas.
And he capitalizes. It forces you to stay completely focused for all 4 quarters, even when you're up big.
The specialists, then, they force you to adapt to things that aren't pure scheme. It's chaos, it's trash talk, it's complacency.
Exactly. And that's why this breakdown is so valuable. We've moved from coaches whose success is built on repeatable systems to those whose success is built on forcing novelty or exploiting your mental lapses.
Okay, let's transition now to that final tier. The users whose path is tied to either immediate pressure or long-term development. The newcomers and the builders.
Right. And we can start with Coach Darnell at Washington. There's very little tape available on his play style. He's a rookie.
But there's a key piece of context.
A critical piece. He has a son who's already successfully competing in the league.
That adds a whole layer of pressure, doesn't it? A legacy to uphold, maybe even some family bragging rights on the line.
It definitely does. And that context leads to a pretty clear prediction from the YAR network. If he starts slow, it might be a long league for him.
His direction will be known pretty early.
Yes. For him, it's not a slow build. It is an immediate performance test. He needs to show he belongs and fast.
Now contrast that immediate pressure with Coach MB at Utah. His entire path seems to be defined by a long-term vision.
Coach MB is the portrait of patience. He's a balanced user, nothing wild, nothing reckless. His success is framed entirely around the long view.
The key words being development and patience.
That's it. He'll be fine if he does what it takes to build his team the right way. He's not trying to win a championship in season 1. He's building a foundation for a future dynasty.
That's a powerful lesson in itself. A patient path to success, sacrificing some early wins for sustained growth later on.
Right. When so many others are optimizing for the short-term gain, he's playing the long game. Coach MB represents the investment strategy, while Coach Darnell represents that immediate performance test.
Okay, so that gives us the full spectrum. We saw the calculated, if volatile, aggression of Coach NS, the hyper-disciplined passing of Coach Rob, and the pure, mistake-free efficiency of Coach Tyler.
Then you had the specialists, the chaos merchants, Coach Tyreek with his wildcat who weaponizes annoyance, and the paradoxically dangerous Coach Kanan who punishes anyone who gets complacent.
What this breakdown really reveals is that success is this mix of tactical competence. You have to have a solid scheme and psychological control. You have to eliminate mistakes like Tyler, manage your own intensity like NES needs to, or use the human element to your advantage like Rob does with his rules.
And for you listening, that is the essential insight from the YA Sports Network. The league is defined by different personalities, different play styles, and a whole lot of smoke heading into the season. Winning means managing the formations, the clock, and the person on the other side of the controller.
Right. Every coach is a unique human challenge you have to solve before the clock hits zero. We've seen that strategy just isn't enough. Personality dictates everything from preparation to in-game conduct.
It really does. So here's a final provocative thought for you to chew on, something that ties this whole spectrum together.
Okay, let's hear it.
If winning against the methodical, mistake-free Coach Tyler requires you to earn every single yard, does the inherently chaotic, high-variance approach of a user like Coach Tyreek actually become the superior counter-strategy?
So do you beat predictability with controlled chaos?
Exactly. Does forcing your opponent out of their conservative comfort zone into an unfamiliar, reactive mindset give you a better chance of disrupting that perfect machine than just trying to beat him at his own disciplined game?
That's a fascinating question about competitive risk, something to think about. Join us next time for another deep dive into the sources that matter.